So,
can I ask a question real quick? And I think this is sort of in the back of a lot of folks my age, but the 2008 recession, that obviously was during this time span you're talking about. How did that affect your business?
That's a great question, and I would say for anybody, one of the best lessons I can talk about is the lesson to create is as recession proof of a business as you possibly can. So in the late 90s, we lost some money. There's a year we lost some money, and I looked back and I read a book on the 80-20 rule. And basically it talked about, 80-20 in your customers. Figure out the 20% of your customers that deliver 80% of your value. And you know what? Fire some customers. Charge them a little more money. Whatever you got to do, you got to turn those, you got to create more of those top 20% customers, right? To survive and do well. So I evaluated my customers and I found that the customers that I was losing money with were often developers and general contractors who didn't care about a long-term relationship. And then there's a couple of general contractors and developers that I liked, had good relationships with, and that cared about the relationships. But most of those general contractors and developers that I did work for back then could care less if Rabine was around and I survived tomorrow. So I looked and I said, gosh, well, who are the customers that are really delivering the value? So I realized it were customers that relied on us being there year in, year out. Customers that needed our expertise to help them with their budgets, needed our expertise to help specify their pavement design and understand their problems, right? So it turned out to be facilities owners, big property owners and property managers, hospital systems, and big corporations who needed somebody they can trust. So I said, golly, you know what? We're changing we pivoted then. We pivoted in a big way in the late 90s. And I said, right now, it was like 10% of our customers were delivering over 80% of our value. And I say that, customers that were recurring customers that cared about us, that paid us on time, and customers that gave us 80% of our net profit probably, okay? So I said, we're pivoting. Went to my team and said, team, we're pivoting. Here's what we're doing. We're going to go after long-term customers that care about us because we care about them to maintain properties long-term. So we started going after facilities back then. Within 4 years, 90% of our customers were those recurring customers, were customers that had budgets to spend on asphalt pavement and concrete pavement and stormwater and snow removal, right? Well, guess what? So 2007, 8 came along, and we were positioned 95% of our business was in that space. So we grew faster than anybody we've seen in our industry over that period of time. From 2008 through 2013, we grew faster than anybody we saw in our industry because a lot of our competition were in that same space we were before, working for customers that were general contractors and developers. Well, guess what? There wasn't a lot of developing going on in 2008, 9, 10, 11. It was at the lowest level that I've ever seen. So unfortunately, many of my friends in our industry, really had tough times. Many of them went out of business. Some of them just downsized drastically until they weathered the storm. But we grew faster than we've ever grown before. So that was one of the best pivots we've ever made. And today, I'll tell you, we're still really, really focused on that space.
That's incredible. I know that you sometimes claim to not be that smart, but I think you're actually a genius.
You're a funny guy because I am no genius, but I think that
you just make genius decisions.
No, I think